Welcome everybody. I'm Greg Burke, head of video for Shacknews, and today's really special because today we're getting DLC for Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, one of my personal favorite games that I play all the time. It's in its second year, I believe. And wow, what a day to have reaction stream to IllFonic, which starts at 1. But I wanted to come in for a minute and kind of go over their patch notes a little bit. If you can't tell by the background, I'm a huge Ghostbuster guy, so that's kind of my thing. It's kind of what I do. Let me go over here to this. Where is this? Nope. There we go. Stories page. Let me do this here. So this is kind of a big deal. It really is. 30-year-old cartoon shows that have come and gone over, 3.5 decades, don't get things put in video games. They're lost to time. They're time capsules. They're a cool romp. You can buy the entire series on Amazon Video, I believe is where it is. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. But today we got the Boogeyman, an iconic villain from the real Ghostbusters series. And if you've never seen that show, you're probably like, who is the Boogeyman? Well, he's just an entity that is a very famous for that cartoon show. Its design is absolutely horrific. The Ghostbusters fight him. They go into his closet world. It's a huge thing. Love the villain. Last year, IllFonic did a poll on one of their ghosts that they were going to add to the game. And the poll was the Gray Lady, Gozer, and the Boogeyman. And let's see if I can find that poll. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Twitter poll. I think they did it on their website. Oh, here we go. Right here. We have it right here. Haha, I found it. So these were the 3 ghosts that they had voted for, and while I would be a fan to have all 3 of them in the game, right? When fans want something, they always want everything of whatever it is. So yes, I want all of this. All of this. Yes, please. All. I'll take all. But the Boogeyman won by a huge amount. Obviously a super huge fan favorite of the real Ghostbusters cartoon show. That design is just horrific. And then goes in Librarium. I mean, I want all of these, but he won by a huge amount. And IllFonic today is doing a live stream talking about their patch 1.10, which I'm hoping is not the last patch. The game had a little bit of a balance update. I want to say 6 months ago, 5 months ago, 4 months ago, something around like last year. And that was kind of the only thing. It's been kind of silent on that end in terms of content. But I want to go through the patch notes real fast before they start streaming in 4 minutes. So the Boogeyman is now available, and he is a poltergeist type. I was really hoping that he would be his own standalone ghost, but I understand with that standalone ghost comes with 3 variants, so they couldn't make the variants in just this one. That's fine. Poltergeist has terrible tether resistance, but anyway. Okay, going through. So here's some patch notes. Buster slightly reduced Buster's max walk speed. Great, now they're even slower. That's not great. All right, so Buster Gear, Particle Thrower, Stream Extender. Fix an issue with incorrect values, fire movement speed being displayed. Okay. Oh, thank God. Stream control is no weight minus? Oh. No, not Steam. Stream control has been very rough to adjust to since the balance patch. Damage output on the energy isolator is good. I like destroying things. I like that on the energy. That's good. RTV kit. Battery efficiency modifier removed. Interesting. Second, Bell Gizmo slightly reduced damage from scare attacks. That was annoying. The Bell Gizmo did give Ghostbusters a lot of slime resistance, and I always knew when they had it because they weren't getting downed. Adjusted max energy for spill control. Okay, that's cute. That's quality of life. Ghoulie, reduced ecto cost when phasing through humans. Yes, we've been wanting that forever. That you take so much energy to phase through a human. Slightly increased scare attack damage, increased scale attack angle, increased Reduce scare attack ecto cost. Wow, the Drake may actually be like a competitive ghost now. That's actually really exciting. Hopefully you guys, I'm not blowing out the mic. I can't really hear myself. Possess humans, slightly increase passive ecto consumption. Okay, all right. Poltergeist, Nasher. Wait, Nasher's. Oh yeah, Nasher's the one no one plays. Arc cast, reduce cooldown of F from 15 to 14 seconds. Okay. Increase arc. That's actually a big one. The animation cast is a little. I would have liked to see 10 seconds. 14 still a bit long in my opinion. All right, here it comes. The nerf back for the nerf bat for the Toxic Shock Pillar, which we knew was coming because it was just too good. It was just too good. It would, in an engagement you would just get wrecked. So reduce shock pillar duration by a second. All right. Reduce shock pillar max radius. Okay, because it had a huge max radius. Reduce shock pillar height. Damn it! I don't think Jordan was the original designer of the game, lead designer, creative director. I think he's on to something else, but I would love to see percentages, IllFonic. If we could get percentages on like reduce max radius by 10%, 5%, 15%, just to get us an idea of how much that is. So that's it. Poltergeist was not touched. Possessor. It's cold in here. Is my heater on? Yeah, it's on. Possessor. Slightly reduced ecto cost for the possession. Slightly reduced ecto consumption rate while sprinting. Slightly increased passive ecto consumption rate. Okay. That's fine. I'm fine with that thing. Terror Sentinel. Arm traps. Here we go. Let's see what they did to the arm traps. Reduced duration of arm traps from 12 to 8 seconds. Okay, that I like that change because they did stay on a little too long. Slightly reduced slime damage. Slightly reduced fear damage. That's fine because they're supposed to hinder, not down. So I'm cool with all that. Slightly increased time between arm trap hits. Okay, I like that. You know, they're supposed to disrupt you chasing something. Totally get it. I like that change. And then we just have overall bug fixes, fix issue with certain emotes were not playing correct audio, fix issue with Scuttle, Gravebringer, deceptions were not accurate. And that's it. A very short list of changes. I know with every new DLC, people hoping for new gear and new maps. I think IllFonic has gone on the record that they're saying there aren't going to be any new maps in the works right now, so we only get the new Ghost, which is fine. They have not started yet, so we'll keep an eye on them when they do start. I love this game. I know a lot of people like to go on Steam metrics and just look at the low player count, it's 3 players or whatever, but like there's other metrics, there's Switch, there's PlayStation, there's Xbox, and there's Epic Games that they're not accounting for. I love this game. I wish we would get all the things. We want more maps, new equipment, Ghostbusters 2 patch. We want a bunch of different stuff as fans, but what a time to be alive to get a 30-year-old Ghost, which looks great, by the way. They even gave him his hoof feet. Can I make this larger? Nope, cannot make that larger. They even gave him his hoof feet, which is fantastic. I'm really excited about that. All right, here we go. We got their logo popping off, and I'll give you guys a little bit of reaction. Yeah, I'm super psyched about this. I wish there was a little bit more balance changes to certain things, mainly gear. Stream control currently in the game is really rough. I will say this, that their new creative director did come in and made the game more of a team effort on the Ghostbusters side. Like, you used to be able to basically tether a ghost, start on a trap, get him in super quick by yourself. And that dynamic did change with the last patch. So I'm really excited about that. I really did like that change. Of course, it does it does come at a cost of working with a team in a team game, in a 4v1 team game, working with your team. So, and depending on your team. So, but you can get some good lobbies. Hey, Diswag Pro. Hey man, what's going on? Diswag Pro 16. Wait, Diswag Pyro. Diswag Pyro 16. I said it right. Yeah, this is incredibly exciting. I really hope it's not the last update we get for this game. I know that it seems like it is. But you know what? Netflix has a series coming out. Frozen Empire did okay in theaters, not as well as they'd hoped. Did okay. It did phenomenal on streaming, and that definitely shows that there's still interest. in the game, and hopefully they can bring even more things to the game. Like I said, people, we just want more of it. IllFonic, Jared, if you're listening, Jordan, anyone at IllFonic, Albert, we want all the things. We want all the things. We want maps. We want Ghost. We want equipment. And if you can't give us equipment, we'll take balance changes. Just tweak things so we mess with things a little bit more. I'd love to see all that stuff. We'll take voice DLC. We'll take music DLC. We'll take anything. Anything you want, and I'll pay for it too. I will pay for it. I love this game so much, and I want to see it do really well. Sorry, it's been a busy day today. I haven't had a chance to even check my email in the last couple hours, so hopefully I'm not missing anything important, and no one's trying to ping me like crazy. Okay, good. No emergencies. Yeah, I want to. I hope I can play it tonight. I don't think I'm gonna be able to because I work long hours, guys, and there's always something to get done. I try to get as much done as I can every day, but it's hard because there is a lot of stuff. Let's go. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I want to know what his abilities are. I want to know what his ability is. It's weird because we're getting deep into the lore, but in the cartoon, he's not a ghost, so they can't actually capture him in the trap. And I was hoping that he'd have maybe some tether resistance, but he's poltergeist, so he has crap tether resistance. So he's gonna get tethered very quickly. So unless he has a means to get out or a way to engage, he'll be like Nasher, where he's just not great to engage with. Yeah, he is iconic. Absolutely. Absolutely iconic. I wholeheartedly agree. It's so cool that we got him actually got him in the game. I made a joke years ago. Let me see if I can find it while I'm waiting for them to start. I made a joke years ago. Let's see if I can find it on Twitter.
Hello and happy patch day, everybody.
We're starting.
Today we'll be taking a peek behind the curtain on how you turn 2D into 3D, from real Ghostbusters to Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. I'm joined here today by Sean, our art outsourcing lead, and Pablo, our technical animator. Looking forward to getting y'all getting into game with you guys and busting and haunting as the Boogeyman. Just a reminder before we get into the whole stream, make sure to follow our socials if you haven't already. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. Join the Discord if you're looking for a Discord community to play with some fellow Ghostbusters. And otherwise, we'll be doing some giveaways throughout the stream, so look out for those. Actually, you know what? Speaking of which, let's just run one real quick as we're getting into the introductions and stuff. Where's my tab for giveaways? Hold up, it's loading. It's loading, chat. It's loading. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do a slime suit tint giveaway first. So type !giveaway for a chance to enter said giveaway. There we go. There it is. All right, cool. So Pablo, Sean, thank you for joining us. Let's just start off with, how were you guys involved into bringing Boogeyman to life in Spirits Unleashed? Sean, we'll start with you since I think you're at the beginning of the pipeline.
Yeah, totally. So my involvement has to do a lot with working with outsourcing support, but mainly, bringing this guy to life. So, starting with the concept art, again, obviously that's mainly based on, what the cartoon had in it, taking that and translating that with an artist. And then, once that concept is all said and done, it looks good and we feel confident it's good to go. Bringing it over to the 3D side and finding someone to support that too. And as well as, in between that, just making sure feedbacks, notes, and all those things are being addressed and done correctly. And we're bringing this guy to life to our best ability.
All right, yeah, and as you're talking about that stuff, I'm gonna pull up the little piece of concept art that you gave us so the chat can all the viewers can see it. And then Pablo, how are you involved after that
He
initial
animates.
process?
He
Is
rigs
there?
it and does all the
Oh yeah,
animation.
I basically take the finished low poly model and I apply things to it to get it moving around in
Oh my god, that is
the
so
best
like
way
it's
possible
so pure.
in game.
It's so pure.
All right, sweet. So
Like,
Sean,
look
what
at
do
that.
we? I guess Sean and Pablo. So since there's a little bit of both here, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so one of our goals with this Ghost was to utilize a pre-existing rig that we have with one of our other ghosts, which was, I believe, Poltergeist, Pablo, right?
Yes, yeah, that was the
Yep.
Poltergeist skeleton.
Sweet.
Saves
So
time.
I
Saves
think
time.
that
So I have
kind
to do
of,
it from scratch.
yeah, and so the initial challenge was, bringing, as you can see in the middle reference, which is, directly from the cartoon and the animation, bringing that animated version of him and all of his, exaggerated characteristics and trying to format that to one of our rigs. So in this process, it was very much, aligning those
I'm glad they
things,
kept
but
his
also
head
making
huge.
sure
That is, yeah,
that
that's one of his
stylistic
features. It's not
approach
as
that we
big as
have
the
in game
cartoon,
with all our
but
other
it's definitely
ghosts,
big.
which the artists that supported pretty much all the other ones as well, um, are in tune. And when we get to the translated 3D version, it sticks to, it kind of melds well overall with the game style.
Yeah. Do you want me to show? Are we going to the high poly 3D version now?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Here's what that
Oh
looks like.
wow.
Yeah, so in this process, it was we finally got to a point where everyone overall in the studio as well as Ghost Corp were happy with the approach of this character here, in the concept wise. So then this would go into our high poly model. Again, translating a very 2D flat character into a more three-dimensional form, and thinking of all the different angles,
Which
back,
has never
side.
been done before
This is
until
the
now.
space that we
It's
really, I think,
he's
spent a lot of
never been
time
done like this before.
narrowing that
So it's a
down
first.
and aligning it. Even in his like mannerisms, his face. It can even
Give
get
us
into like the
STL
slight
for 3D
bevels on his
printing. Yeah, I'm sure
face
Ghost
that
Corps
can
will
kind
love
of
that.
make this style and
I'm reading the
formulate
chat
the
on the
style where you
Twitch.
still
Well,
kind of
no.
see some of that
They're not gonna do
cartoony
that.
edge and flair in there. I think like I think in the next image we had some examples
Oh,
of
yeah,
I
here.
guess like feedback process. So I think it's a good place to kind of go into here where we have an initial sculpt that was brought to us that they did as a first pass, and overall the features of him didn't feel exaggerated enough, didn't feel fun enough. The character really has this edge to him, and like between his ears, nose, especially his very long jaw and very crookedly amazing smile, we want to incorporate that and really bring that character that everybody recognizes in the animation to life here.
Yeah, I remember in our initial conversation, you were talking about just how like we want to exaggerate those facial expressions and how basically like how when I asked you like, hey, what was the fun and cool challenge of bringing Boogeyman in? It's kind of like he's like you're taking him from a cartoon to a 3D model that has kind of like a cartoony style, and still trying to keep that cartoonishness while still making him well as scary as he is. It's like this fine balance between silly and scary. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and another thing too was just like, kind of keeping an expression in the head. There's, with the face overall, comparatively in animation's case, like, you want to be able to have a lot of control over that to have expressiveness. And, with this guy here, that, was a pretty big challenge. Pablo will probably go into it more, but being able
Hi.
to still have kind of emotion through the face in it, where it's not just a stagnant thing for someone to work with,
Cool.
was another area of like, you could possibly go a little too far and make it look a little too wild, or you can just kind of like keep it as basic and flat as possible, but that would be a little boring. So there's definitely a lot of different
Yeah, I
fun
love these
pieces
notes
in
on
this
the.
guy
It's
to get
hard
him
to
where
see
he
the
needs to be.
notes
You want to keep it
on the
true to
screen.
the original art style.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And
then,
so
yeah,
this
I mean,
is the
Great. Okay.
final texture model.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's whenever you translate something from like a program like Substance, where we do a lot of our texturing into Engine,
Yeah,
there's
Sadie's on
things
my
that
lap
you
now.
kind
She was
of
cold.
tweak and adjust in there. But for the most part, this is the finished one that we were really happy with. Again, an area that kind of we were working between the artists with was a balance of saturated colors between desaturated. You know, initially he came in pretty desaturated and not as, you know, full of like spiritually ghostly life. So we went ahead and incorporated a lot more of that into it. Even some of the slight transition in the hair, where you see the darker, the lighter tones.
That's great.
yeah.
Getting as
He
much
looks
of that
great.
cartoon love in there, and again, just like visually how he feels and looks in the cartoon.
Don't stop with
And
Boogeyman. People are like, please
I
more.
hope,
Yeah, we want
I
all
hope-
of it.
I
We
hope
want
he did a good
every
job.
single thing. We
You
want
know,
it
it was a
all.
blast. It's always a blast to work on all these ghosts, and you know, watching a cartoon as a kid and growing up, being able to be in a place like this, it's definitely rewarding.
Yeah, I'm seeing from the chat, people are definitely saying that this is awesome, that it's looking great, and one of the this is a pretty good transition into going from your side, the outsourcing and the feedback of getting Boogeyman looking the way we want him to Pablo's animating him so he looks and feels the way he should. Someone said earlier, does he have a big head? And Pablo, I think you're the
He
man to
does
answer
have a
that
big
question.
head. Everyone's been saying he has a big head.
If you look at the next picture, it'll show you exactly.
Oh,
so,
dang. Okay.
So basically, the plan was to use Poltergeist's animations in order to form the base for the Boogeyman's movement.
So
here.
yeah, so I
on the
guess
left you
that the
see,
type of ghost
Zappy
that he
with
is, the
his
class of
original
ghost
rig.
that he
The
is,
rig
just
is
depends on the best rig
like
to
all those
attach him
shapes and
to.
stuff. That's what the
for how the
animators
movements
actually
are.
use to move around the character.
And obviously that's probably
And,
either it's
those,
probably
like,
Poltergeist or
inner
Luck,
lines that you
Lunk,
see
right?
are-
Those are the two
that's
types
like the
that
skeleton.
actually have like feet and hands.
There had to be several adjustments in order to accommodate the Boogeyman with starting off with his like huge head. I adjusted the position of his neck and head joints so that it could move properly, as well as adding extra joints for that big old pompadour and the ears and the coattail in the back. I also had to slightly adjust like the arms and the hands because he has bigger hands.
Yeah, just so the chat can see, it's these purple, or well, I guess you guys can't see my mouse. It's the purple lines inside of the Boogeyman skeleton, and then you can also see that like because with the Poltergeist, Zappy has like the skeletons coming out of like the electrical tubing out of the back of him.
How those little tendrils in the back.
Mhm.
So basically, if you don't have joints, if you just remove the joints, then the animation's not going to be passed on anywhere. So it was just as simple as removing the joints in that case.
Okay. And then
So it just
Looks like he's the
giving
same,
giving him a
like the
couple
same
of
size
extras
too,
for,
like the
for his
same
hair
like
and
hit
his hands and
detection's the
everything.
same everything in his Poltergeist.
Nice.
So I see.
Okay. Do you want to move to this one?
Yeah.
This range of motion. This one's a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So this is what we call a range of motion test, and basically it's just an animated series of poses for the character in order to make sure that the mesh is bound properly to the mesh, or to the skeleton rather. And basically it just ensures that the mesh is moving around properly. Like if you rotate this joint up, it moves the rest of the arm. It doesn't move like part of the rib cage or anything. And of course, it's just a test like extremes with poses within a reasonable limit. Like obviously, you're not going to bend your arm back for more than a few frames.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second part of this video loop shows the actual skinning process, where basically you assign
the people are saying
how
like,
much
oh, we want more
influence you
story
want
stuff.
certain
Yeah, dude,
parts of the
you're not
mesh to
getting more story
have
stuff.
with relation to certain
I'd
joints.
honestly rather have
Like,
more
if you
ghost
rotate,
maps and gear than
this
story.
joint,
Like,
you
just
want like this part of the
continue to
mesh to be
support the game
affected.
for as long as we
Those
can.
are those little purple
For
dots.
example. The purple dots are like the locations of the joints, whereas the actual like rainbow coloring is like a heat map of how much that mesh is being affected by.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay,
So,
I see.
like, yeah.
Oh, the heat map. I see. That's.
Yeah, as you can see there are various view modes with these this handy third-party tool that I have for skinning.
Yeah. As someone who doesn't work in these art programs at all, of course, I'm not on the art team. It's just this looks like black magic wizardry to me, and it's so cool watching like
witchcraft.
You can see
witchcraft.
his coattails, his pompadour, his ears flapping, like his ears has physics too, and even his tongue.
Mm. Well, the tongue doesn't have physics, but it does use the animation driven by the original Poltergeist.
Oh, okay. I just saw it move up and down in the initial. Okay, but it still does move around. And then we also have a physics demo here. This is, I think, where we get into the fun big head part of how it breaks certain things.
I think people are
Well,
asking
I
if he's not
actually
a
think
bounty.
that
How
where
is
it
he
breaks certain things
unlocking?
will
Oh,
come up
yeah,
Oh, it's
he's
posed.
there.
Oh, just kidding.
He's
Yeah.
there.
But
You just get him.
this is a physics demo using in Unreal. We could set up a physics asset as well as like
His hair
certain
bounces.
colliders that we can assign weight and other things to control the
Okay,
way that
Sadie,
it
I know,
moves
but
around.
You came to me. You came
And
to
here are like
me,
a couple of
Sadie,
animations
and
where you
want
can see that
pets.
pompadour and ears flopping about.
There we go.
Mhm.
I feel like for a lot of the ghosts, I went with a more like floaty type of feel to them, which I thought was more fitting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just it's very fun to play around with. It's always fun playing around with physics. And
I love how
sometimes the
floppy the ears
colliders are also used like in the case of the coattail to make sure that like they don't like phase through the legs.
Oh, okay,
That's
he
what the
has all the
collisions are
same.
for.
Got it. Yeah.
That's awesome. He has all the same taunts as Poltergeist.
Okay.
I know
cool.
people are going to
And
be
then we
let
have
down by
this
that because
photo.
people, whenever they add a new ghost, they're like, I hope they have his voice. I hope they do this.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
had
wow.
to make some additional adjustments on top of all this because like that big head, when you play the original animations on it, it'll ruin certain framings. Like this is on the top, you have his outro animation, you have the before we adjusted where his head's just being cropped off the top. You can't even see his face, and we had to make that adjustment. And the other one is when you're playing the game, originally the poltergeist is on the center of the screen, and his head is
He
so
does have a
big
new
that
ability.
you can't even see what you're aiming at. So we had to actually move him to the side, kind of like the
I'm really hoping he
the
has a new ability
Overlord,
and he's not just like Garaka just had
characters
was just
to
a
sort
Grim
of like
Reaper
a regular third person
Ghost
view
Lord's
off to
ability.
the
I hope he
side.
has a unique ability. I
Right.
want a unique
Most of the
ability
ghost
from him.
variants sit
His alt and
centered,
his minions are the same.
whereas
That's fine. Oh my god! I hope his
since
minions have his
head
hair.
is so comically
That'd
large,
be
it kind
amazing.
of blocks
They won't.
your
but...
vision. So he's
Yeah.
got the Overlord treatment. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
like Sam Hain.
Okay, Sadie.
Yeah, I think it really emphasizes the amount of like even just adding a new ghost into the game, the amount of just trickle down and other structural work you don't really necessarily think about, but it definitely makes a difference in the long run.
Definitely. Can we move on to the? I think it's post correction.
Post correction, yes.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah, so we had to make some other adjustments in order for him to look right. Originally, the poltergeist has his head like all like down and to the side here, which we thought didn't look well. So we added an additive animation to keep his head up during movements like his idle.
His claps hit
Also, as you can see, some changes had to be made to certain
that's
emotes
awesome.
because he had the Zappy has an emote where he claps like this and it just goes through his head because of how big it is. So there were a lot of like small changes to that we had to make in post in order to fix a lot of these things, like the
God
legs
damn,
collapsing in on itself.
man, this
That's
is
why
so
the
cool to
knees
see. I
forward with the
really
before and
hope the
after.
game's not done. I really hope they're gonna
there
make
it
more
is.
shit.
Yeah,
Charge me
some
for it. I'll pay for
animations
it.
Required extra
I dropped $5
targeted
for
work. Like the hands had to
$5
be
or
moved
even
down and the
$10
head
to
had
play
to
the
be moved
Boogeyman.
up.
Hell, I'd pay 20. I'd
And,
pay 50. Let's just not know how much I'll go to
last thing I'll
pay
talk about
to
is,
play
like,
Real
this here.
Ghostbuster Ghost in the
He has a
Ghostbuster game.
blend
Okay,
shape
let's not
morph
even
target,
open that
which is
box.
basically like a pre-sculpted version of like the mouth being open and the mouth being closed that is being driven by what used to be just the joint rotation on the jaw for the Zappy. Like when Zappy opens and closes its jaw, it's driven by a joint. This time, that joint animation is being passed into those animation sculpts so that he moves his mouth up and down based on the rotation of the joint, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's wild.
Okay, yeah, I see it when that circle is coming up. So it's only moving based on the rotation instead of. Correct me if I'm.
So instead of being like the joint being skinned to the jaw, it basically it has two set sculpted positions, one with its mouth open and one with its mouth closed. That way, it's as you can see, like the two poses with his mouth being open and mouth being closed has a bit of nuance to those sculpts.
People are really stuck on the story content.
So
it's not going to happen, guys. There's
sort
not
of
going to be any
sells the
more additional story
expressiveness
content.
in certain cases, more so than just
I can
having
speak for myself, but I
the
mean, I
jaw
just want more ghost
rotate
map
up and down.
in gear.
Mhm.
It's ghost map
Okay,
in gear. I
yeah,
don't
no,
care
that
about
makes
story
sense.
content. I want
It
ghost
gives it a
map
little
in
bit
gear.
more life that way, and you can
Give me a
actually see it, like,
cemetery. Give me a
shifting from-
It's a little more
cathedral.
organic.
Give me a mansion. Give me like an
no,
old
that's for
mansion.
sure.
Like
And
that. I think
then,
that would be a
now we
cool
just
map.
have some official stills from our assets team. But yeah, did you guys study the original real Ghostbusters when working on them for Spirits Unleashed? I mean, I saw some concept or like some screen grabs taken from the thing, but did you guys go back and watch those episodes? The episodes,
Yeah.
I think there's 2.
For sure. I mean, whenever we got into a new
Is there only
ghost
2? I thought there were
concept
more.
and-
Man, there's
and
2.
when
Yeah,
we're
there's only 2.
focusing
There's
on
the
a new
Boogeyman, the Return of the Boogeyman.
character, like I usually find whatever the
I mean, like,
specific
the-
episode.
the-
Same
the-
thing with Sam Hain, whichever it is.
No, they never
there's
want to
like a million
say it because they don't want to
yeah,
see that
yeah.
the game is
But yeah,
not,
we,
not
just going through
supported
that
because
episode, putting
then
your mind in it.
the fan base
especially,
are always like,
you know,
I'm going to
coming
play
at,
this
like,
game
again,
if it's never
like, with
supported
the
again, but
concept
like I
side,
want to
it's-
see that
it's
more
taking
support,
and
right?
translating that very cartoon
And like the
character
Boogeyman
into
opens this can of
something
worms
that is
with like,
feasible
cool,
in-
now
in-
let's
in
do
the 3D
Sandman,
space.
right? Okay, now
So
let's do
having that kind
oh
of
my
knowledge
God,
of
what's
just
some
like
other ones?
understanding not just what the character's appearance is, but also just the
You
personality.
could do like
they
the
give
troll
off,
because I think the troll is really
help
similar
in-
to
in
the
that
head
initial-
troll is very similar
that
to
initial area too. So
the Boogeyman
yeah,
design.
definitely
He
enjoyed
just
the
has a
episode.
mohawk and
Guy's got a
sunglasses and like is a little
wild,
more
got
like
a wild voice.
proportioned.
That's for sure. And Pablo, how did you use the animation as well, the 2D animation, like learn from the 2D animation to bring it into the 3D animation? Like, what do you pay attention to as an animator?
Certain things like the expressives, how the
They did do
how the
Sam Hain,
character
which was cool,
moves
and that
to
was
make
the real
sure that
Ghostbusters
it's
design,
not,
or
like,
the
too far
Ghostbusters
off
interpretation
from
of
that,
it.
especially when reusing
is
animations
awesome.
from other ghosts.
I think
you
the
want to make sure
pumpkin
that
thing
they're
was
not
always like what Sam Hain
acting
was
in-
known for, right? He was always
or
that
moving
kind
in
of way.
ways that wouldn't be very characteristic. Like usually,
But they're
the
just like
Boogeyman is more so upright,
the
maybe a
whole
little hunched,
plethora of
but
ghosts
more,
that they could
more so
open
upright than
from
the
the real
Zappy's
Ghostbusters.
head tilted thing.
I don't think. I mean, do I want it to happen?
Zappy's
Yeah.
just
How
like-
much
he
money
does
do I have
normally
to give
just
IllFonic
walk around, but in
to
this
make it
case,
happen? More than I make in a year.
it
So
made more sense for the game in order for him to float around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's so
No,
cool.
that's that makes total sense actually. Now that I think about it, Zappy is
Please
super
have unique
hunched.
ability.
He looks like
Please
me.
have unique ability. Please have unique
gamer
ability. That's like what I'm
forward.
hoping for. That's like,
It's like-
Yep.
don't just be a skin.
Check.
Please have unique
Posture
ability.
check.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Please, please,
Posture
please,
check.
please, 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 please.
Yeah, what were some of your favorite? I guess this is maybe like a 2-in-1, but like fun and cool challenges and like favorite parts of working on the Boogeyman. Sean, I guess we can start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Support
know,
for the game has been awesome.
like I
People
guess
talk
like the
about
fun
support for the game.
challenges were certainly like I brought up a couple times, but just taking a very like important character in that franchise and bringing him into our type of style for the game, and being able to just again like
They're probably not going to have his voice
rewarding
because
part
they
of
did the
my
real
job
Ghostbusters
is being able
Slimer.
to be very
He didn't
close
have
to
the.
art
They
side
didn't
and
have.
being able to,
Oh God,
give
I should know his
feedbacks as
name.
well
I
as,
should know. He
giving
does
some
race
draw
dance
overs
and
and paint overs, so being able to work
the
on
real
just a character like
Ghostbusters.
that is really fun and cool. But again, yeah, like
I'll
going
remember
into
his
the
name
biggest
eventually, but, like,
challenge
they
was
didn't have a
definitely,
voiceover for the real Ghostbusters
the
Slimer.
area
It was
of-
just the standard
of
Slimer.
the restrictions
It's
or,
like little things
what
like
we're
that,
doing or
like, can
focusing with
really
the
make it
rig
stand out.
and making sure this
But I don't
character
think they
still
had the budget
has,
or the
the
time
same
or
feeling,
to do it.
as close to that rig as possible. It's still overall approach to that. I think that was the bigger challenge. There's other aspects too, like we work very closely with Ghost Corp with a lot of these, so feedbacks come back and forth in that area. So a lot of just subtle things like make the ears a little smaller, make the nose a little bit bigger, but that's it always comes to like
Dude,
a
the
really
ears,
solid,
they get some of
awesome
those,
result.
some of the
And
cartoons, like
I
the
mean,
ears are
personally for myself,
so
really
huge.
happy
Like his
with how,
proportions are
this
not
ghost turned out.
consistent in the cartoon based on the angle. Like he's at some point he's huge, and some point he's regular size.
Great. And it's like you kind of like get to sculpt how he looks just from the very beginning
What are
on.
you gonna do, Sage? You gonna
Super cool.
swap my
Yeah,
mouse?
100%. I mean, we get into the programs to check that out, and I think even like I was saying with the beveling on the face, you have to show kind of a visual
please,
example
please,
of that to
please
really nail
have
it
a
down, because
unique-
that could be so ambiguous in just like saying it as a feedback in text.
Yeah, and Pablo, I remember. I mean, obviously, you were talking about like the big-headedness and creating some physics and stuff. But I remember our animation director Brian. He was saying that you had basically saved art a ton of time as well by creating a couple of different animation curves or physics or something? Do you want to delve into that?
Oh, well, I love that. I
So,
love the fact that they gave him his
basically,
his hoofs.
in order to save animation from just remaking an animation from development, from figuring out some way
You're
to
like
hook
hitting
in
my
that
keyboard.
specific
Where
animation.
you going?
So that's one specific instance.
Where are you going? Why don't you sit down right there?
Used animation curves in order to sort of cue in when I want the specific animations to be blended in over their original animations. Like I had to do this in some instances, like with the clap emote, where I had an animation curve to sort of cue in when I wanted the arms to be moved down. And
oh, dude, his world is a map. Someone just asked.
Unfortunately, I don't have a visual
Bob After
demonstration
Dark Places. Any chance we can get his
where
world
those
as a
curves
map? Oh, that'd be great. The closet dimension. Oh my god.
It allowed us to sort
having
of
the Ghostbusters use like portals, like to go in different areas of the map would be kind of cool. But that's I don't think that's gonna happen. They've been pretty apparent.
Certain like
they've been pretty. Frank Walker,
animation.
thank you, Lido. Frank Walker, yeah. They didn't bring him in, and they couldn't use his voice samples.
Animation from scratch.
But
so
for Slimer,
yeah,
I mean that would be great. But IllFonic's been very straight with us that there are no more maps coming.
In terms of like, we don't have to create entire.
There are no
things.
maps currently.
Our team doesn't have to create entire new assets. And
making a map is a significant undertaking.
For certain
I have
parts of
I think I have Jared from
model
IllFonic in an interview saying making a map is a significant undertaking, and it takes a lot more work and effort and time than just to throw in a ghost.
For just a small change, like to hook in a specific animation.
And they've done a lot of cosmetic stuff at the game. Like there's a ton of different proton packs you can unlock now, which is kind of cool.
Stuff like that.
Nice. Sweet. Okay. Is there anything else that I missed that you guys wanted to tell or teach the stream about? Any, for any, aspiring artists or animators out there, anything you guys want to talk about or say or show some insights to?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think for myself, I've been doing this for a good little bit now, but
like they didn't even have
for anyone who wants to be
the budget for like a trailer to like announce them. Like I totally get
asset artists and those.
I totally
like
get
that,
it. Right. It was a rough year for IllFonic too. They had layoffs.
I think
at the end of the year, which really sucked.
Mindset,
no one likes. We
up,
don't like reading about that here on the
then
site.
Go to
Never like
sleep,
reporting on it either.
Pretty
But
much draw till they go to sleep, wake up, do it again. I mean, it's definitely a really fun industry to be in. It's a very rewarding one, a very cool one.
What's funny is I just interviewed the senior art director
expectations of
for IllFonic. He's no longer there. He was laid off, but I just wrapped up an interview with him before this. We talked for like an hour. Like that was a cool interview.
Work on things that you're really passionate about. If you have personal projects you're passionate about, excited about, just do your best in that. I know it's kind of like a basic thing to say, but it really does mean a lot when you put that time.
It's too bad you can't mod the game, honestly.
And likewise with networking.
I know certain games you can mod, like Mortal Kombat 1. I've seen some mods. It's just too bad you can't mod this game.
You're really happy with.
It's like the amount of stuff you could put in, the amount of ghosts you could do.
And other areas like that you can really do that, and it's a viable area to show off your stuff, and then who knows where that goes from there.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Pablo, anything?
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are tired of hearing this, but it's always true of just get started. That's all it takes is to
just get started. You just get started in the industry. You just got to start somewhere. It's got to go. Go.
Technical artist or technical animator. I mean, Unity and Unreal, they're free engines, and there are a bunch of tutorials out there, and it's always really cool to just mess around and to create things that that you just think are cool.
Richie,
if you just have like a list
one of our Discord
just
friends,
creations and fun
artist. He's an artist, and he's a big ghost head.
That
we know who he's like. He wakes up, draws, then sleeps.
And you just fill up a portfolio. People hiring are always interested in seeing like.
Sean outsourced leads. That means that they outsource. They freelance third party to design him. Instead of doing something in-house.
The gateway to being where we are is to
which is fine.
Simply
that's
get
fine.
started.
That's normal in the industry.
That would be my
no
advice.
job is too big. No fee is too big.
Yeah, I'm not, and I'm obviously not on the animation or the art team, but yeah, just make a bunch, and always improve. Next one is always going to be better. I like that. All right, cool. Well, Pablo, Sean, thank you guys for joining the stream.
Well, that wasn't such a chore now, was it?
I will be right back with. We're just going to outro these guys, and I'll be back, and we'll talk a little bit about today's patch and just some of the balance stuff, some insights from Julian. But yeah, otherwise, Pablo, Sean, thank you guys so much for joining the stream. I'm gonna run one more giveaway for a game key while we
incredible
we get you
job
guys,
of
all
the
situated.
design is just fantastic.
Thanks
That's
for joining.
1-to-1. That looks
Yeah.
great.
Oh,
And he
Thank
fits
everybody
in the
out-
world
out
too. It
there
looks like he
too as
belongs
well
in there,
who's
which is actually equally
yeah.
important.
Enjoy Boogeyman.
Has anyone in our chat,
Enjoy
Lito
Boogeyman.
or
All right, be right back.
Deswag Pyro, have you played him yet? Does he have a unique ability? Please tell me he has a different. Please say it's not just the toxic pillar. Please say he has something like that makes him stand out. Yeah, super exciting. That's so cool to see that.
Okay. And we're back. That was supposed to say be right back. I definitely didn't change the text on that. That's my bad. Hold up. Give me 1 second, chat. I'm activating the giveaway, and you guys are ravenous for the game key giveaway. We'll give away, you know what, just because of you guys being amazing and still supporting us and everything. And God, there's actually a good amount of you in here today. Let's run. I'll give away 2 this time. Here we go. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed key. Let me just make sure this is the right code.
Let's go, Albert. Come on, man.
And we'll send... I already have a giveaway running. Streamlab help. View active giveaway. Complete. There we go.
Hey, Richie. Good job.
Okay,
Richie
cool.
won.
So some notes from our one of our game designers. On the balance changes, we'll just go from the...
I think Richie,
the
did
patch
Richie
notes
win?
onward. Did I close this out? Here we go.
Damn right we entered the giveaway. Damn right we did.
His Vigo!
So yeah, let's see. We slightly reduced the Busters max walk speed. We just felt that the Busters felt like the tiniest bit too fast and could smother certain ghosts.
Yeah, too
we did
fast,
see
sure.
feedback from you guys
As
in the
I'm
community on
sprinting
ghosts
desperately to catch up to them when they're in something
Drake and
constantly.
Howler. Like Howler, we gave the
Too
extra
slow,
range
sure.
to, but the increase in walk speed kind of made it feel like you couldn't use that kiting ability that we gave the Howlers as much. So should be able to feel that difference quite a bit more with this small.
This is
walk
true,
speed
and I
change.
said this before. I said
Let's
that in
see,
the
we
patch
just
notes
fixed a
that I
couple of
previewed
other
before. I think like
numbers, and
they made
adjusted
it
a
more
few
team
things on the
centric
Buster
since
gear,
the previous patch
as
before
well
this.
as adjusted
With the new
belt
designer,
gizmos,
new creative director, like
damage resistance
he made it
from
more
scare
team centric
attacks.
game because before that
It was
you could
especially
easily
with,
just
we'll
get down a
hop
ghost
and
throat,
transition into
tether
Ghoulie
him,
next,
juggle
but
him,
it was
and
with
then get him in a trap by
ghosts that are
yourself relatively
reliant on
easily. And
scare
now it's
attacks,
more of a
that
team
was
effort. You
almost a
really
little
do
bit
need at
too
least one
effective
other
on, so
Buster there.
We tuned it down, toned it down a little bit, so it's still useful, but doesn't hit ghosts that rely on their scare ability as their main mode of attack too hard. Okay. Yeah, past that, we noticed with the Ghoulie changes, we wanted him to feel a little bit more aggressive when you were playing him.
Yeah, he's much better now. He might be
But
playable.
with the gizmo and some of the other changes that we
That's the first ghost.
made,
That's the first. Sorry, I'm
the Ghoulies
super
needed a
exhausted
little
today.
bit more help. So,
That's the first ghost I'm
we're
playing is
hoping to
Drake
promote,
because
a
like
bit more
he's
of that
been
aggro gameplay
underutilized
with,
for
some of the
God
scare
knows how
attack
long,
damage
and
increase,
they
then
did a lot of
also
updates for him in the
reducing
previous
that
patch.
cost
This
on
patch
phasing
looks
through
like he
humans.
can
That's
attack
gonna be-
faster, and it's
that's
less
gonna be real fun.
energy to attack, and he looks
watching
like
you
he
guys
might be
just
actually more fun to
zoom
play
around
now.
this
Like they
Ghoulie
buffed him up
slashing
again.
and gliding and
I would have liked to see
doing a
Hellion
bunch
get
of phase
a
through
redesign
attacks.
a little bit. Is Hellion, I think, is still one of the
Okay.
weaker ghosts in the.
Poltergeist, we
in the
made
lineup.
some changes. Nasher, the art cast didn't feel as potent as we wanted it to. And Toxie was kind of the opposite, where the shock pillar we had just been buffing slowly over time
The shock
so much.
pillar, yeah,
and then
got,
we
like,
finally
it was
gave
superior.
It's like stamina reduction, and it was kind of a culmination of a bunch of different changes. And so now it's it should be back in line with some of the other ghosts. Let's see. Terror Sentinel and the Terrorizing Possession. Okay, so for Drake and Possessors, in patch 1.10, we introduced a thing where when you're possessing a human, it gives you kind of a refund on the ecto cost. So we've slightly reduced the initial ecto cost on them, and then increased the the passive ecto drain, the consumption rate.
Dude, we're
So
all
if
so
you're just
desperate. We're like,
standing
please,
completely
yes, more
still,
patches. We're like,
it'll
more
tick down
adjustments, more
a little
ghosts,
bit
more
faster.
everything. Please, give us everything.
Just to kind of navigate those awkward situations where the ghost will just ghost players can hide in a human and kind of not interact. Okay, and then yeah, we toned down some of those arm traps. We did give Terror Sentinel a bunch more arm traps, So we've reduced the overall duration of how long they last, and reduced the rate at which they do their damage. So you should be
Yeah,
seeing,
the Terror Sentinel was one of the top tier
more
ghosts
traps
after the
overall,
patch.
but
Just,
they
he was
won't
very
be
good.
lasting
He
as
does a
long,
lot of damage.
and,
The
it should be a
traps
little bit-
disrupt your engagement
Busters
really
should
hard.
be able to navigate through them with a little bit more less difficulty. Okay.
Dude, I can't believe people in the chat are still asking for a single player. Like, they're not making a single player story during
the
game.
giveaway.
It's 4v1. It's always been 4v1. That's the kind
Still
of games
up
they make.
for a couple more minutes here. But yeah. Thank you all for joining the stream today. We'll be back with more news regarding streaming and other stuff. But for now, make sure to follow our socials and join our Discord for the latest news. Any issues, this is a new update, of course, so if you guys encounter any issues, please report them on the Discord or via our socials or our help desk email at gbsu-helpdesk@illfonic.com. Oh yes, and for those of you asking who haven't downloaded the update yet, you can unlock Boogeyman by getting level 25 on the Poltergeist
Lito,
class.
how big is the update?
But yeah,
I'm not going to have time to play
be
until like maybe
it for
8 o'clock.
today's stream.
So I've still
Thank you
got
guys
like
so much
7 hours
for
where I can't even turn it
watching.
on.
And we will be back pretty soon, and I'll see you guys around the firehouse. I'll definitely be seeing you guys in game very soon here. I'm going to launch and play here pretty soon.
No,
So,
the people asking about future DLC. I think this
yeah.
this might be it
Thanks for
until
watching.
the
Thanks for
Netflix
playing,
series gets
and,
closer, and maybe
catch you
we'll
very
do
soon.
something else.
See you guys.
Interesting. Well, like not a super in-depth live stream. I am happy with some of the balance changes to the game. Those will add something. I wanted to know. I'm really hoping if anyone in the chat can tell me if he has a unique ability. I really hope he does. I don't think he will though. I think that's just too much. That's too much design time that they can't spend. You know, it's really funny though. Let me see if I can find it. I tweeted, I think, at IllFonic years ago, making a joke about having the boogeyman in the game, and it's really surreal. Let's see. Yep. Here it is. Here it is. I'm going to retweet it today. So in January of last year, January 20th, I had tweeted, all right, hold on, sorry, let me mute that. Yes, I know there's things that need to do. I know, and lots of things, all the things. So I had joked, lead gameplay animator Greg's workstation. Here, I'll just switch it over. I joked on Twitter about like exciting things are being worked on of our lead gameplay animator at Greg's workstation. Can you guess what it is? And like this was a picture of just his workstation blurred out, and then I did this. You know what I mean? And I said a player can dream, and wow, what a day for dreams to come true. That doesn't happen often that I get lucky on a guess like that, because that's pretty sick. That he's in the game now. That's pretty rad. But yeah, that was it. I don't have time. Unfortunately, I don't have time to play the game right now and like do a review on the Boogeyman. But it's safe to say, based on the other ghosts that they've added, it's just a variant. So he'll have either the pillar or the ball. Probably the pillar. He'll probably have the pillar. He'll probably be a Toxie variant. Which is, I'm not gonna lie, is a tad disappointing. I really did want him to have like a unique ability, because he's just such an iconic ghost. I think he deserved that. But you know what? I'm happy we got more cosmetic DLC. Another ghost is always cool. I really hope that this isn't the end for its support for Spirits Unleashed. I really do want to see more. I want to see, well, there are a lot of cats in that picture. There's two. I do want to see more Ghost. I want to see maps. I want to see gear. I'm not big on the story stuff, because the story stuff is likely approval hell through Ghost Core, so I'd rather just have gear, maps, Ghost, or just, let's just keep on, let's roll out with more balance changes. Let's keep buffing things, debuffing things, fixing things, tweaking things. That keeps the game on its toes as well. So, oh no. Lido, no, not the Arc Cast, the worst ability. Oh. No. Oh man. Oh, that's disappointing. I was really hoping, however small chance that we'd have his own unique ability that stands out from the other variants. So he's just a skin. That's okay. I mean, and when I say just a skin, I'm not devaluing. There's a lot of work goes into it. But yeah, Artcast is like, if you guys don't play the game, Artcast is like one of the worst abilities in the game. It's not great. Even with the buff that they gave it, it's still not great. It's just not a good ability. It doesn't do enough damage, doesn't disrupt enough. It just doesn't. If it was on a 10-second cooldown or 6-second, I could see that, but like it's just not good enough. I don't even know. Playing the game competitively for over 2 years, I can tell you that the Artcast is like one of the worst abilities in the game. It is above Hellion's Ram ability, but it's really bad. And the Artcast, I mean, God, I wish they would have given us anything else. The dash or the pillar would have been fine. Oh, the Artcast. Oh, well, I guess they'll get people to play Asher now because that's. Oh, Artcast. Damn. You know what? It's fine. I'll take the win. Just gotta take this. It's the small victories in life you have to take. So that's it. So the DLC is available now. Patch 1.11, I believe is what it's called. So yeah, go check it out. Yeah, it is the worst ability. it's probably the second to last worst, with Hellion's dash being the worst ability in the entire game. So he's the second. It's the second to war. I mean, well, actually, Muncher's is utility, but still, yeah, that's. Oh man, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. Keep making shit, IllFonic, please. Keep working with Core. Keep making these things come to life. Grow Ghostbuster stuff in there. Put Extreme Ghostbuster stuff in there. Put more gear, more maps. Keep going on the cosmetic. Keep the train rolling for as long as you physically can. As a fan of the game, as an advocate of the game, who's been pushing for the game, who still plays the game, please, don't stop support. Don't have it go into hibernation. Keep doing stuff, even if it's small stuff like balance changes. I still want to see this game succeed and do better. So hopefully we'll see something when the Netflix series comes out. Maybe we'll have some kind of collaboration. But that was it. That was the stream. Boogeyman's available now. I want to thank everybody for watching this today. This is a little reaction stream. We don't do it often. I don't do it often, but and I gotta go back to work. It's 2:00. I got stuff I gotta do. So I want to thank Lido and Diswag Pyro for stopping in the chat and giving me the terrible news of Artcast. Appreciate it. This is fine. I feel like that dog. This is fine. It's fine. Artcast, it's fine. It's fine. And I'll see you guys online. And most of the people in this community know me when I'm online, so I'll see you guys. And in the meantime, let's where's the stream ending? All right, and we'll leave out with the Ghostbusters transition that I made. So I'll see everyone later. Thanks for sticking around. It didn't go through. Well, I guess today's just gonna be one of those days.